YouTube, Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that news on the Jonas Valanciunas trade. Um, Jonas Valanciunas getting traded by the Wizards to the King for Sidy and two second round picks. The Sacramento Kings have agreed to acquire him from the Washington Wizards and the picks are going to be two second rounders. The Kings will send the 2028 second round pick via the Denver Nuggets and their own second round pick in 2029 to the Wizards. The Phoenix Suns was also interested in acquiring Valanciunas, and in 49 games with the Wizards, Jonas has been averaging 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists in only 20 minutes of play, showing you that he's still one of the better big men in the league. And the Wizards didn't really need him. They were just using him to be able to make a move like this, basically, because they knew that he can still be productive at his age. And honestly, it's good to see him go to a better team like the Kings that's still trying to make the playoffs this year. And that's their goal, and it's clear because they made the Zach LaVine trade so they can stay relevant after losing De'Aaron Fox. And now you see the fact that 49 games has been played. Jonas has started 12 of them already. He's still shooting 54% from the field, basically scoring within the paint with dunks or close range shots. He also got a little bit of a mid-range jumper. And his free throw percentage this year is about 89%. He's taking 2.2 free throws a game. He's also getting 2.4 offensive rebounds per game. And he also is almost at a couple assists at 2.2. So like I said before, this is a guy that can give you double figures, whether if he come off the bench or whether if he start. They don't really need him to be that right away as he's out right now with an injury. But he is a big body that's very good at post defense. Not the greatest roam defender, not the greatest rim protector, but they already understand that because they already got Demonis Sabonis who's going to be starting for them and playing the bulk of the minutes anyway. But this is a good upgrade, and it didn't cost you really that much because you didn't really need Sidy that bad. Plus, he's a young prospect, so it makes sense for him to go to a team like the Wizards, who's still trying to get, a lot of looks at different players, and the second round picks help with that too, to be able to get more players that you can take a swing at to be able to get some more things right, so that way you can get a lot of talent. And nobody really wants to go to the Wizards anyway. They mostly get their stars by drafting them or trading for them, but you have to build the asset pool, or you have to be able to get them by getting more swings at them in the draft. So it makes sense why they make this move. I think that they was gonna make it anyway because signing him in the first place or getting him in the first place never really made sense for them after they got Sar, because you knew Sar was going to be the guy for that roster when it comes to big man, and they made that clear in the draft, and he's going to have more opportunity to prove that he's worth that second overall pick, because we didn't really see too much crazy things out of him. They still got Bagley as another big that can soak up some of those minutes, and they still got Rashawn Holmes, who's another big, not the tallest guy, but a little lanky, can play in the inside. And they also have, like I said, Sar, who's their rookie. He's going to get the opportunity to do more things, and he's the defender that they want as a rim protector. He's more of a four sometimes to me because he wants to space the floor. Doesn't really have no post game, doesn't really have no inside game besides catching and dunking or catching lobs, and that's really all he can do right now. And he prefers to play on the perimeter. So it was good to have somebody that was physical, somebody that was tough, somebody that can be an inside force, and that's what Jonas Valanciunas was being used for. But he can play that same role on a team that's winning, like the Sacramento Kings, who's currently in one of the top 10 spots in the Western Conference. This gives them some depth. This gives them some strength. This gives them some girth. This gives them a guy with a lot of mass and that can set good screens for them too, and even shoot a three every once in a while. Not the greatest at it, but even Sabonis started working on that, and that should be something fun. It's just going to be a guy that has mutual respect from what the Kings are going to do with their roster and how the players already feel about him. You know that Jonas is a good guy. You know what he is going to bring to the table, and at least he's going to stay healthy for the majority of the ride with probably the Kings. I don't think this is a long-term move. This is just a temporary move. This is just a move that just makes sense for now. You know, you gave up 3 prospects that could be potentially good in the future in Sidy in the second rounders, but that's so long from now. Plus, they got to go through development, and they got to go through growth, and they got to go through evolution while still clinging on to a NBA roster. That shows you how hard it is to stay and make it to the NBA. But Sidy already figured that out because he's been traded already within a week. And this is the business side of it that can be ugly, that can be a little forced upon you. But hey, you signed up for it. They tell you that, you know it. And as long as you're still in the league and you still have a spot, that's all you can look at, that you're still blessed up. Because most people want that spot anyway. And at least Sidy gets to keep it. But if they don't want to keep him, he is on one of them contracts where they can just let him go or they can just waive him and then go in a different direction with the roster spot, unfortunately. And the Wizards have a lot of players on this roster that wants an opportunity and wants a chance to prove themselves just like Sidy wants to do. And that's going to keep it competitive. That's going to keep it interesting. And I think he is a good player. You know, he has a whole lot of things to figure out mentally. He has his body to figure out. He has to develop the ability to shoot the basketball too, which is one of the hardest things to do in the NBA, especially if you're bigger like he is. But, you know, can't really make excuses. This is your dream. This is your livelihood. You want to keep it going as long as you can. And I think that he can do that. But I like this pick up for the Wizards. I think they win this trade because Jonas is not going to be around that long in Sacramento, because their window is, we are going to try to be a playoff team as much as we can within the next 3 to 4 years. And then after that, Jonas is going to be gone before that's even close to being done. So he's 32. That is a little bit too old on the NBA side for a center, because you actually do have to be able to defend the rim. You actually do have to be able to communicate and actually man it. And if you don't, they're going to, cut you for that reason, because offense ain't everything when it comes to big man. And he is a good rebounder, like I said, so he is going to set the screens. He's going to roll to the basket. He's going to make the right plays and right decisions, kind of like a mini Sabonis, just a little slower than he is in some of the things that he's going to be able to do for this team, because they're going to kind of run the same stuff when he's on the floor than when Sabonis is off of the court, so things can stay going and flowing. And I think that the Kings, they had to go all in to make that Zach LaVine move make sense. People have loved it. People have hated it. People are like, well, it's not that really good of an idea to go for Zach LaVine, who's owed another $49 million even next year and after that. And I'm like, you got to make a decision. Do you want to continue to win, or do you want to put your best team out there, even if it ain't a championship team? And some people just want a team that's going to keep the fans coming, keep the fans excited, and the playoffs is the best way to sell them that dream. And at least the Kings going to be in that conversation for the next couple years. And you have to look at it like that's the purpose of this decision too, is to keep this team as competitive as they can be, keep them as respectable as they can be, and just live with the results that you might just be a first or a second round exit. And that's the biggest thing you can do for the Kings right now, because they don't even usually do that. But these guys are still young. They still feisty. They still want to prove themselves. They still want to make a name for themselves. And they still feel like they got a lot left in the tank. And we just got to see how they perform together. We just got to see how things work out, with the Zach LaVine move and this move too. I don't think that they're going to get worse. I think they're going to be around what they always been this season, which is a 500 or a little bit over 500 or a little bit under 500 team, and good enough to be a play-in team too. But that's better than average. And like a lot of GMs said, we rather be here than be a team that's rebuilding or retooling, because just because you get a first round pick don't mean you're going to hit on it. Doesn't mean the guy's going to be a superstar. And even if the guy's a superstar, that means he's going to stay. And if he does say that means you're going to win championships anyway. That's just a reality of the game of being a GM and being the owner and being a person that's playing this game of being an NBA contributor. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is, going to happen your way every single time. Even if you think you're making the right move or you think you're doing the right moves, don't always mean it's going to equal to the success that you think you're going to have in general. That's just a realistic mentality that this team could possibly be better than we think they're going to be, just like they have been this year. And they can also just turn into being one of the worst teams in 2 years. You just never know. Injuries happen. Things happen. things come up, and we just seen Luka get traded, and nobody seen that coming. And he was supposed to be there for the next 10 plus years, and he was a superstar, and he proved it, and he lived up to the hype, and he's gone. So it's just something that y'all got to keep in mind, that some teams just want to put the best roster that they can put out as a GM and as an owner, and live with whatever happens with that team. And that's what the Kings have been doing for years, and that's what they're going to try to continue to do, because it's even hard for them to be in this position over the last couple of decades, and they're just appreciative that they have a team that can possibly make the playoffs, because it's hard for them to even do that. And I know organizations that have been struggling with that because they have to draft, and you're not even guaranteed to get a top pick even in the draft anymore because of the new rules. And some of these drafts, like last year, you can get a top 10 pick, and none of them may even be superstars, which some of them don't really look like that already from last year's draft, even the number one pick. So you never really know, and you never really know how to do it the right way, because it's not a guarantee in a lot of these decisions that's being made. But other than that, I think this is a deal that the Wizards won. And I think that the Kings just get a temporary patch-up player that can help them stay afloat, help them not sink, and help them continue to have a good roster. Not a great one, not a championship one, just a good one. And if that's what they want to do, and that's what they made this trade for, it makes sense. But they don't really care about the picks right now anyway, because they're not going to be the greatest picks anyway. And even if they come out to be better than average, that's most picks usually be in the NBA when they have a good organization behind them. I don't know if that's the Wizards. I don't know if that's the Kings. I can't vouch for that either. But hey, the picks are going to always be used for something, mostly rotation players, and they get one in Jonas. And I think that they're happy with that, because he can be a productive player that even better than a second round pick in the next couple years too, if they decide to keep him. That's just the truth about how good he has been throughout his career. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. And if you're new to the channel, I do conversation videos just like this in different variety. I also do breakdowns with real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, and also future stars, also draft coverage, and also mock drafts too. And I have over 3,000 plus videos if you want to check those out, and to see if you want to be a subscriber. And I also have my social medias. You can follow me on other ones. They're already on my channel. You can email me if you're going to do a collaboration, or you want to talk to me about something else, or get to know me a little bit better. That's the purpose of those on my channel too. And not only that, y'all stay blessed up. Y'all continue to support the channel to the best of y'all ability. I appreciate that y'all accept my content for what it is. And thanks for continuing to check out this channel throughout the weeks, throughout the days, throughout the months, throughout the years that I've been doing it. Let's make 2025 better than 2015. That's the number one goal this year for this channel. And let's continue to put in the work. The work day is continuing to go. Hopefully you're enjoying your day. Hopefully you're happy. Hopefully things going your way. And if not, it's to keep your head up. Other than that, I'm going for now.